All right, welcome to the Real Estate Huddle. This is episode 44, and tiny homes are all the rage. And we've gotten a lot of phone calls about tiny homes, and could I do a tiny home on this lot, and different things like that. And so we're going to talk today about how there's these 3 tiny homes, and there's several more, but we're just going to highlight 3 on Amazon that you can actually purchase on Amazon that are less than $50,000. This is the age of affordability issues, obviously, with all the inflation and payments going up and people not used to spending this much money on homes. So it's just another alternative to consider and something that is kind of interesting and fun to talk about, because these tiny houses, they can be kind of cute, really fun structures, that a lot of people like seeing, and they can be livable too. So we'll talk about some of the ins and outs of like what to look for, what to not look for, that sort of a thing. But let's just go ahead. We'll open up the first one here. That is actually like the most affordable one. It's a 2-story option, $28,500. It's on sale right now on Amazon. Could be yours today.
Free delivery.
Yes, free delivery. Comes with a 30-day guarantee. You can get your money back, supposedly, as well. So make sure to read all the fine print. This is from Umraha Builders, and payment through a secure transaction. So make sure it's safe. Obviously, you guys, when you're spending that much money on Amazon, you want to make sure you're not getting scammed. And I think instead of just jumping at one of these options, we'll talk through this, but you need to figure out where that tiny home is going to go. And so we'll talk more about how to do that later. But if you look at this one, great looking place cosmetically, looks like a cool house that would be fun to live in. This one, just keep in mind the numbers are not in feet, are they, Brock?
No, they're in inches. So yeah, it seems
makes
really
a big difference.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's not as big as you think.
You're 228 by 108. That's 24,000 square feet. That's bigger than the founder of Remax's home. No, that's inches, dummy. So divide it by 12, and it comes out to about 100 or 200 square feet roughly. It's 191 square feet on this one, on the base of it. That's the footprint. But it is a 2-story, so it's going to be living area is going to be a little bit more than that.
It does have a nice patio.
Yeah, nice little patio on it. You can see it's got 2 bedrooms, a living room, and a fully equipped kitchen with a bathroom as well. There is a wet and a dry bathroom, is what it says. Any idea what that might mean?
I don't want to postulate on what a dry bathroom, the ramifications of that are.
Might want to Google that one. Or look in the remarks or the experiences of people, right? I tried to flush my toilet, but it was dry. It wouldn't work. You have to have water connected to these things for it to work. But anyways, the structure, you guys, is important. If it's a modular home, right, especially modular certified is a thing. So if it's modular certified, then that means it can be picked up and placed on a concrete foundation, which is a really good thing, right? Because from for us as realtors, for resale implications, if something is a modular, it's much better than something that's manufactured that may not be on a foundation, that could be much more prone to sliding down hills and moving and that sort of thing. But if it's on an actual foundation and it's modular certified, then you could get some pretty decent resale out of that as far as the lot goes, especially if it's in a good location. Mm-hmm. So
and this one is not certified, but it does say you can either get it with the steel floor or put it on a concrete foundation.
Mm-hmm. So it can be done.
Yeah.
Can be done. And not all modular is modular certified. So I think there's just extra testing that goes into that to make sure that it's legit.
Yeah, I think some of that has to do with being moved by crane too, since you're going to have to crane a lot of these into place.
The equipment to move it.
Yeah.
And I think just being aware, if you are interested in this, where it can go. Can you put it in your backyard? Can you, put it on a random piece of land? I mean, there's a lot that has to do with that of, buying the land and making sure that it's zoned properly and, your HOA allows it and all that. So there's kind of a lot of homework to do before just diving in to buying it.
Yeah, yes. I'd definitely check with your local regulatory authorities on what you can and can't do, of course. But a use case that I do think would be really interesting next gen living is a common thing we're seeing a lot. If your family has a larger plot of land, I think this could be a great option. If you have somebody staying at home, you're able to get this, build it on land that your family already has, have your privacy, your own house still, and then use that as a stepping stone to like true home ownership with your own home. I think that's a use case that's interesting for these tiny homes.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you get a lot that's, a quarter acre, fifth of an acre up in the mountains that allows for these types of zoning. Like, great point, Kristen. Like, definitely start with the land, right? Mm-hmm. Start with where you're going to put this. Make sure the zoning works. Make sure that it's to code, right? To the building code for what is allowed. Like, you could have HOA covenants on that lot.
Yeah, they have a minimum build standard of $700,000, and you think you're going to put a $50,000 tiny home on there, you're going to have a conflict.
A lot of these areas do, right? They have either zoning requirements or a code that requires a minimum building standard, which could be, you got to build a home that's at least 2,000 square feet, right? Mm-hmm. And this is going to, you need 10 of these to make it. Right? So not a good idea to do something like that before you know all the rules of the land, the lay of the land, right? Yeah. So that's huge. Don't just be like Steve Martin on Pink Panther and be like, whoa, what a good deal. I can buy a house for 30 grand. Let's do it. Boom. Let me pull out my credit card right now. Sieben, trois, whatever he does in the movie. But, don't do that. Start with the land, and then we go from there. Let's pull up the next one. We've got a couple other really interesting options here. This one is more of a ranch-style tiny home, $40,000. This one is a alloy steel material. It's a little more hefty and also a little bigger, 480 inches by 240, right? So about double the size of that last one. But that's the base. Keep that in mind. It's 110 inches high, right? So that's 9 feet-ish, 10 feet?
And
11 feet?
Looks like this is modular where it could be stacked on top of each other versus or side by side, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they show a couple of examples there too.
So,
yeah, and I did notice the last one, the whole shipping weight of the thing is like 1,200 pounds. This one is 7,000 pounds.
Oh,
so,
yes. So
that gives me a little more peace of mind as to the durability potentially.
Yeah, with the steel frame.
So you won't go blowing away.
And the fact that one of the pictures shows it stacked on top of each other with a little porch or patio on there, so you can have both. It comes with essentially a floor ceiling setup that is load bearing.
Yeah, and we're showing you like the highest ranked ones on Amazon, you guys, that are like 4.5 stars out of 5. That's really good. Just make sure you see like if they're fake reviews, if they're real reviews. I think it's really important to like go on a Facebook group and chat about these tiny homes and find out as much as you can about like which manufacturers do the best, which ones don't, so you don't buy a lemon, and something that you're just gonna have to scrape.
Yeah, this one showed as more of a container home or standard container home. So
yeah. So it's still a lot of money, right? Like we're way less money than what you'd spend to buy an actual single family home nowadays, but you don't want to lose 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand. That's not fun.
And I think it's important to go into, so looking at these houses and looking at the price, what are people getting when they're purchasing this? And really you're just getting the frame from my understanding.
Correct.
So you still have to kind of keep in mind obviously you're adding the furniture, but you're adding a lot of other things.
You got to add the flooring, the plumbing, all of the
wiring.
Yep.
Okay. So all of the other things. So that's just the raw like you got the foundation, you got the raw structure. So you've got, it's weatherproof, so to speak, but it comes with windows. But you're going to have to do like what toilet, what vanity, all of that type of stuff. So it's you're going to still have to do a lot of work on that one. So.
And roughing and utilities on some of these neighborhoods is like, it can be up to 25, 30 grand just to rough in electric and like plumbing, right? And your water source could be another 20. If you're doing a well, or if you have to, or if you're just plugging into public water,
or tap into the city.
Yeah, the taps. There's tap fees with the city. Government wants to make their money on connecting you to their water source and stuff. So. Like there's other expenses, so make sure that you're budgeting properly and you're not like, okay, I have $51,000, so I can buy this $50,000. No, Like you need to
Yeah.
still be prepared to have like the money to knock down the lot, like buy the lot, and also get it all, with the city all hooked up and everything with the utilities and that sort of thing. So,
Yeah. And kind of going back to what Jackson said about, it could be a good, let's say you're a college student and you don't want to live with your parents, but you're living, kind of in this house that's like on their land. That's a good thing to do. Possibly like renting it out. Also, I've heard people use it for office spaces. So, I mean, if you kind of wanted an office,
Yeah,
not
if you wanted
directly in your house, but
A change of
that
scenery,
might be-
a short commute that you just walk to.
Right.
Yeah, no, that would be great.
that might be a good option too.
it's a recluse, Unabomber. I mean, it works out for those types of people.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Well, and one thing I would consider with where you're putting these is if you are looking particularly like inexpensive lots of land, a lot of those are going to be undeveloped. So you're either going to be thinking about, putting in a septic tank to go with it and plumbing it, or if you're trying to do an off-grid thing, which is, I know a lot of container homes, like people are buying land, they want to be off-grid, go solar for electric, all of that stuff. But that is going to increase your costs a lot.
Yeah.
So you want to factor like, where am I getting water from? Where am I getting electricity from? Where is septic stuff going to go? Things like that. So.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, and you've got like this one is prefabricated. It says. So just look at the wording. Do your research on like what that means compared to modular, compared to manufactured. That's important. And then make sure you understand like the sizing of it all. That it is in inches, right? The two lines mean inches. Those are all very important. So let's look at this one. I didn't see the first one. It said like typhoon resistant, earthquake resistant,
Fireproof,
fire-
waterproof.
Yeah. So those are some big claims, right?
Yeah.
But
And looking to
Bold
live in the
statement.
7th ring of hell and have a container home that'll hold up. So.
You can float that down the volcano.
yeah, I would love to see that tiny home like stand up to a typhoon. But
Well, as Brock was saying kind of before, we're all fireproof to an extent. We're all waterproof to an extent. So
We all have our limits.
definitely. All right, we'll pull up the third one. This one's 50 grand, so we're moving up the ladder, right? You sell that 40 grand home, you move up to the 50 grand home. And this one looks nice. Really modern look to it. Kind of
Barn
cool.
style,
Yeah, like a farmhouse, barn style type
It's got
home.
a pitched roof, so it's got a nice slope to it.
Yeah. So good looking place. It does come with floors, it looks like, right? From my understanding. So that's, again, 30-day refund replacement. This one's Pacific Marketplace LLC is the company that uses this one, and it's got some really good rankings on Amazon.
Yeah, the weight of this one is 39,000 pounds. So,
that's encouraging.
so that's
Yeah,
going to be
very
more than one
A little
delivery.
more hefty, maybe worth the extra 10,000, right? To have a
Yeah.
house that weighs 5 times more. Unless you're carrying it on your back, that's not good. But 630 by 472 inches. So this one's quite a bit bigger.
It's
and
2,065
taller.
square feet. So
2,065?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it.
yeah, it's good
good
size.
size house.
Yeah, like average single family type house, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So solid there. So the specs are so important to keep an eye on. But this one has a great look to it. I like the look.
Yeah, 2-bedroom. Yeah, you've got multiple setups there.
That's Jackson
so.
laughing
I
about.
like this review. They say they love this home, and quote, "I've never quite known life until I've owned this building. I feel like a landlord, farmer, and Minecraft advocate all in one little tornado-proof cube." So, Christian likes it.
Way to go, Christian.
Do you think that's a real review?
That's
Is Christian a homeowner, or is he?
That's such a strange review. I think
Does he-
he has to.
does
He's
his
just
mi-
playing a lot of Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, does his Minecraft username on there where we can look him up and see?
Right.
No, it just says Christian, but he does finish with "Life is better with the foldable barn." I hope it doesn't fold while you're inside of it. But
I saw foldable a lot on here actually. Like there's a lot of applications of foldable.
yeah, rarely when I think about homes and when I'm thinking about them folding,
I'm worried about them folding.
Yeah, right.
More than I
don't
am
want
thinking that that's a good feature.
But the interior seamlessly blends practicality with an elegant aesthetic. Like you can't.
And
you
this
can't
one
do that
does say
anywhere.
it's move-in ready. I was trying to find if there's like the plumbing situation or anything. From the pictures, it appears you're getting floors, walls, ceiling, and windows. I don't know if that's quite move-in ready.
So if we look at these options in comparison to probably some other more economical options. So you got a trailer house, so a home on wheels that can be mobile. Resale value on those things goes down fairly quickly. These are a little bit more permanent. Modular homes, and Landon notes the resale value with some of these properties is it on average with a typical stick build of a single family home?
It's not. No.
Okay.
You're going to have a lesser rate of appreciation. You think of how the land has appreciated really well here in the last 5 years. And so like the land, obviously, that it's built on is going to grow. And then you should have some growth on the property as well. But like if your average appreciation here in like the Denver metro area is 5%, you're going to be, closer to like 1 to 2% growth on that. It's not going to be the same as the averages that you see in our area, but it does beat, a mobile type situation because those are known to depreciate a little bit more. It's kind of treated more like a vehicle, totally different ball game, right? And they usually sit on lots where they have $1,000 a month HOAs, for all the upkeep and internet and all that stuff. So really different animal from something like that. Like these actually can grow. And, especially if they're modular on a foundation, like they can definitely grow. And it could be closer to, 3 to 4% compared to the 5% if it's done really well and it's on a great location.
Okay.
For sure.
And I think one of the big things is they are smaller, but that leads to a small footprint. So I could see a situation where if you're trying to get, a nice sized lot of land, you just want to have a little house with a small footprint so you can have your garden and all that other stuff on the land, or you don't know if you're going to stay there forever, but you're just going to live on the land. Or I could see getting crazy with it, get 6 of your friends, buy this plot of land, you each get your own modular home on there. So I do like that it has a smaller footprint. I think it gives you some more options.
Or if it's a seasonal place, right? So something that you're not dedicated to full time, but I've seen an opportunity for, the cabin up in the mountains or something like that.
Yeah.
This is a very cost effective option.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Yeah, and they're stackable too, right? You can actually expand on them and like grow the home easier than you can like a normal house. And so that, because they are stackable, makes it kind of cool because someone could buy it and say, I need twice the space, so I'm just going to do another one on top. And
add to cart.
yeah.
Right.
And then, you can transform the house much easier than you could a normal house. So I think that's a huge advantage too that a lot of people don't realize. And I think it all, like appreciation is all about, are you meeting a need in the marketplace, right? And if you look at mountain properties and they're all 800,000, but then you see this one with the land and the tiny house, it's, 400,000 and I could add 50 grand more, gets me the house that I want.
Yeah. You can
That's pretty
you can have
appealing.
the same
Yeah.
experience for a lot less.
Yeah.
That's going to grow. That is going to grow in the marketplace
Yeah.
for sure. So I think it meets needs for a lot of people.
And it also, with the size of a lot of these homes, it forces the minimalistic lifestyle, which, opposite the material goods and that type of stuff, and you really get to focus on the core content of what's important. And I don't know, I grew up watching like Little House on the Prairie, and you look at like how tightly they stacked everybody in there. And my mom grew up in a family of 10 people, and they had, one bathroom in the entire house with 10 people plus 2 parents, right? So my dad had 12, right? So I'm trying to think of what their lifestyle was like relative to us, and this kind of reminds me of getting back to the roots of what's important. And
Interesting.
so it's I don't know, the minimalistic lifestyle is very appealing because it is low stress and it does have some good benefits to it. So more holistic approach to life.
Interesting. A little Minnesota log cabin, huh?
Yes, good.
Well, and question about the land, and correct me if I'm wrong. Do you have to fully have the land paid off before you can put something on it? Or can you still pay off the land and still have the house on it and be...
Just depends on if you can
the
find
house.
financing for the land. And there are lenders that are lending on land right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it
Yeah.
depends on the markets. Like during recession times, land lending goes away. During decent markets, a lot of times landowners will come out of the woodworks and start lending on land again. So, and usually that helps land values grow, right? Because it increases the buying power.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, you could get a loan on land right now, and then looks like there's options to finance these as well. You can pay like $2,500 a month for 12 months and have the whole thing paid off,
in a year.
interest free. So I mean,
Wow.
that is an affordable option to do that, right? And just pay the land payments, and you could do this for a couple grand a month probably, and have a little tiny home in a good spot. So
Yeah.
if you're curious as far as how this compares to like real estate owned, right, compared to this option of having a tiny house on a lot, and learning more about this, definitely give us a call. We're real estate professionals in the Denver area, and we we work the mountains, Jefferson County mountain area too. We don't go all the way up into Summit County, but we've got great realtor connections we can connect you with up there if you're interested in looking into options in some of these other counties that are a little further west, towards the mountain resorts. They're about an hour and a half away from us, so we just don't go up there as much. But we're happy to connect you with the right people, RE/MAX agents up there that can do a really good job for you. So, Awesome. Anything else, guys, before we cut it off here?
No, I just think with real estate being hyper local, I think it's really important to look at, the building is one thing, the land is another, and the location, and then culminating all of that into one decision. We can certainly help you get that specific details if you have a spot in mind. So
can't stress enough, look into the rules of the land first before you buy a tiny house.
Yes,
for sure. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you joining us, and we'll catch you on the next episode.